Hello, friends. Today we're going to talk about what you need to know if you just got your brown belt so you can someday become a black belt. Even if you are not a brown belt, if you're a high purple, or you someday hope to be a brown belt, this video is for you. We're going to cover 3 responsibilities that the student has once you become a new brown belt in order to fulfill your personal responsibility to yourself to become a black belt. So my name is Chris Matakas. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, a school owner. I've written 13 books about using jiu-jitsu as a vehicle for personal development. And we created this channel because so many people do not fulfill their potential on or off the mats. And I don't want you to be one of them. So today we're going to cover 3 principles we can follow as a new brown belt to someday become a black belt. The first, your responsibility is to create your own curriculum. I think this is super important. I think we kind of outsource our own education to our instructors in the academy, but I do believe that your personal curriculum is your responsibility, and the sooner you realize this, the better. Most people tend to realize this around brown belt. That means that while you're following the curriculum of, say, your academy and your classes, you also have a personal curriculum. Things you're watching film on, things you're drilling, things you're practicing in live training. And you start to really hone in and build your own game in accordance with your own needs through your own direction. So that's the first part. The second part is not only is our personal curriculum our responsibility, so is the growth of the people around us, because your environment provides the resistance you need to expand and grow. So we almost have this nice selfish altruism where the best thing we can do for us is invest in the people around us. I remember when I stopped competing in MMA, but I still wanted to train with the guys and the team at that time, I started a second practice at the same time on mat 2, where, on mat 1, we had Frankie Edgar, Eddie Alvarez, and all the amazing guys that Professor Ricardo Almeida brought in with us. But on mat 2, while those guys were sparring, I didn't want to sit around and do nothing. So I took like my top 20 teammates who could possibly train in the morning, and the night before every training session, I would call or text them. I would be the best accountability partner possible because I know I needed good bodies on the mat with me so I could learn and grow. So I made it my responsibility to create a mat 2 that would demand my growth and evolution. It was the best thing I could do for my teammates because I was the accountability partner, making sure they showed up to train. But it was all selfish. It was so I could be the best version of me, so I could have the right training partners I needed to grow. And I made that my responsibility. So that's the second one. Our growth of our teammates is also our responsibility. And then finally, this is where you kind of reach that rarefied air that really differentiates, say, like a novice jiu-jitsu practitioner from, I guess, what we'll call a professional, even if you don't get paid. The professional learns to drill while you're doing live training. So there's all these stories about Roger Gracie. When he opened up his school in London, he really only had like Braulio Estima to train with like once or twice a week. And all his other rounds were with his students. So here was this guy who was winning black belt world championships, but most of his training partners were blue belts. How is this possible? Because he would drill during live training. He would use the blue belts as essentially bodies that could give a look. And while they were doing live training, Roger Gracie was drilling the whole time, working on his specific goals. And I think ultimately that's what we have to do, especially as you start to reach a point where you become one of the best guys or girls in the room. You need to make sure that your teammates are providing the appropriate resistance for you to continue to learn and grow. So one of the best ways to do that is if your teammates cannot handle your A game, you play your B game or your C game and you drill it over and over. And you are drilling, working this one specific aspect of your game while they're doing randori. And that's really when you start to take off. As an example, I've been a black belt for about 8 years or so. My favorite rounds are with those like new purple belts because they know enough to give you a really good look, but they don't know enough to stop you. So you just get rep after rep after rep in your chosen domain while they're doing live training. So I think those are the 3 things we have to get right. You make your personal curriculum your responsibility. You make the growth of the people around you your responsibility because it's the best thing you can do for your own development. And then finally, you learn to drill while everyone else is doing live training. You're drilling in the live training. And you get these 3 right, it's unreasonable to think that you won't become a really good black belt someday. So I hope this is useful. I hope it's helpful. I hope you have an amazing journey from brown to black belt. And if these videos are useful for you, let's stay connected. Like, comment, subscribe. My intention is to create this channel in a way where we have tons of valuable material that you can immediately apply to your training so you can get better on and off the mat. So again, I appreciate your time. Happy training. I'll talk to you soon.